Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another upload on the Chi-Town Sports YouTube channel. Today's on a podcast today is the Notre Dame 2022 recruiting target board. Going to be going through all the positions. I set it up very nicely on my Google Slides document. It's going to have quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, and then the DBs. There are quite a lot of offensive and defensive linemen, so that might take a little while. I have class in 35 minutes, so this can't take longer than that, but we're going to get it started now. With the quarterback, Stephen Angeli, pro-style quarterback from Bergen Catholic High School, a legendary high school football team in the Upper East Coast. All the FutureCast, and my FutureCast are in for Notre Dame. Boston College, Michigan State, Miami are a few that have been talking to Stephen, but Notre Dame's looking like the school to beat here. His brother is close friends with none other than Quentin Nelson, probably the best offensive lineman in the NFL right now, who's a member of the Colts and was a member of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish squad a few years ago. Gavin Wimsatt, dual threat quarterback from Owensboro, Kentucky. Really, really talented kid. High 4-star, might be ranked as a 5-star at some point. I don't think he got his season in. I think it got pushed to spring in the state of Kentucky. Not completely sure. I have him going to Kentucky, same with the other analysts and other fans. Kentucky's been in this recruitment for a while. Notre Dame came in over the summer. They offered Angeli and Wimsatt, I think, both on the same day in August. I know it was the same day. It was late summer. Might have been September. I was looking at Kentucky's the team to beat here. Notre Dame is making this interesting, though. And neither Angeli or Wimsatt have been on campus, which is a big big thing to know. Gavin Sawchuk, 5-star on 247. The FutureCast are currently in for Oklahoma. A very interesting thing here is he currently goes to Valor Christian High School in Colorado. Christian McCaffrey and the McCaffreys also went to Valor Christian High School. Of course, Christian McCaffrey went to Stanford for college, and his running backs coach at Stanford is none other than Lance Taylor, current running back coach at Notre Dame. So to say Lance Taylor has not been to Valor Christian High School is completely false. He has many times. I'm not sure if he went to see Sawchuk last fall when he had his season, because Colorado, to my knowledge, is currently not playing high school football. I think they pushed it to the spring as well. Might be wrong on that one, but Sawchuk, 5-star talent. Look for Michigan, Stanford, and Oklahoma to be the top 3. Notre Dame probably at 4 or 5. Jabrian Payne, Cincinnati native, released a top 5 or 6. I think it was Iowa, Cincinnati, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Michigan, and Alabama. Don't quote me on that. Came out like a month ago, and I saw it for a quick second. I feel like this is going to come down to a Cincinnati-Ohio State battle, which is rare. Cincinnati, of course, is a group of 5 team. Usually does not have a top 40 in the country recruiting class, but Cincinnati's making some big moves. There's a current Ohio State wide receiver commit, I forget his name, in the 2022 class, who is debating between flipping to Cincinnati. Luke Fickell, the head coach there at Cincinnati, has done a great job recruiting these in-state Ohio kids. And Jabrian Payne might be the next one. He's ranked the 10th best running back on Rivals. Nicholas Singleton is probably the most important name to know. A lot of people like him going to Notre Dame. You see the fan FutureCast there. He has not released a top 3. It's pretty obvious, though. It's Notre Dame, Penn State, and Ohio State. He's been to Penn State a few times, been to Notre Dame, I think just once. Not sure if he's been to Ohio State. I think he might have once last fall, as he was just a sophomore, guys. Many sophomores don't go on these big-time visits, but Singleton did. And with visits not being allowed, at least inside the building, meeting the coaching staffs until the spring, April 15th is the current tentative date. I would not be surprised if that gets moved back until the summer. Singleton is not looking so likely of making a soon commitment. Neither are any of these recruits, guys. 22 recruiting from basically signing date February, I think 2nd, to whenever the dead period ends is going to be quiet. It's going to be really quiet. It's going to be dull. If you're a college football and a college football recruiting fan, it's going to be dull. So Singleton, I mean, it's kind of up in the air between those three. We'll see what happens. Penn State's bad season, though, will help Ohio State, Notre Dame. And I think Notre Dame might be the place he ends up in. And it's a year and 2 weeks, basically. So a year and 2 weeks. He will most likely be making his decision if he enrolls early, which most of the kids do. Dallin Hayden, dad played college football in Neyland Stadium in Tennessee for the Vols. I'm not sure if he went to the NFL. I think he might have for a few years. But Dallin has grown up in Memphis, Tennessee. He plays for a really good Christian Brothers team. I think he's in the middle of a playoff run, so recruiting has not been his main focus. I think over winter break and in the spring, he'll start to narrow down his options. Notre Dame is probably number 2, trailing Tennessee. Pretty much everyone has him at Tennessee, though, right now, if we had to guess. And I think Tennessee ends up winning this recruitment. The wide receivers. Teteroa McMillan, Polynesian kid from Anaheim, California, Servette High School, a smaller high school in the LA area. A lot of Notre Dame fans think this is Notre Dame's 5-star in the 2022 class, with the exception of Zach Rice, the offensive tackle from Lynchburg, Virginia. McMillan is a stud. McMillan is a very talented kid. 6'4", 185, is a big body, skinny. He needs to put on at least 25 pounds if he wants to make a huge push into the top 10 on Rivals. Alabama and USC are also pushing hard. I think this is going to come down to, per usual, these California kids, USC Notre Dame battle. I'm not sure if he has Hawaiian allegiance. I need to look into that, actually, because that might be a huge factor, as Notre Dame is pretty much Hawaii U. A bunch of Hawaii kids end up at Notre Dame. Kevin Coleman, high 4-star. You can call him a 5-star from St. Louis, Missouri, St. Mary's High School. Not sure if he's friends with former D. Summit High School standout Jordan Johnson, who's now a freshman wide receiver at Notre Dame. But if he does, that could be huge. Coleman is a talented kid. Arizona State is making a massive run at him. He is their coveted prospect in the 2022 class. Arizona State and these Missouri kids, so weird, but so many Arizona State kids end up going out to Tempe, Arizona, and playing their college football there at Arizona State. Kevin Coleman might be the next. I think this is going to come down to Notre Dame, Arizona State, and Bama. Illinois might try to make a run at things. Same with Georgia, Florida State, Auburn. But I think Arizona State could potentially get Kevin Coleman. I put in my Notre Dame future cast on him kind of as just a token of we want him. But I think right now Arizona State is leading, just from what I can tell. Reggie Florima, Naperville Central, 6'2", 200-pound wide receiver. He is the only prospect on here, I believe, that is not offered by Notre Dame at any position that I will cover today. His dad played ball for the Irish in the 90s, has been to a bunch of games in his life. He's a big Notre Dame fan. Iowa's currently leading this recruitment. Minnesota's up there too. Not sure if he has any offers from some SEC powerhouses. They could make a run at him too, but I think if he gets the Notre Dame offer, he goes to Notre Dame. Caleb Brown. Also, just a heads up, Notre Dame is looking to take 2 or 3 wide receivers in this class. They could offer more. It might not be these 6, but these 6 are probably their top targets right now. And I will tell you who I think they will land out of this. Caleb Brown. He's an athlete. He's played running back and wide receiver over at St. Rita High School in Chicago, Illinois. Very talented kid. Pretty much everyone has him going to Michigan. Ohio State's in the mix. Notre Dame's probably 3rd. I don't think Notre Dame ends up winning this. I think Notre Dame has a better shot with Tyler Morris, who's from Naz Academy. J.J. McCarthy definitely has something to say in Michigan's benefit. Him and J.J. are very close. Just picked up an offer from Florida, so this kid is talented. He's getting the SEC offers. Like his tape a lot. He's small. He's a slant guy. Reminds me of Jaden Thomas. Reminds me of Golden Tate. Don't think he ends up going to Notre Dame. Think he goes to Michigan as well. But we will see. recruiting is a long process, and without taking any Notre Dame visits yet, who knows? Kojo Antwi, Kojo Antwi, I think is how you say it, from Sewanee, Georgia, Lambert High School. South Carolina's not winning this recruitment. I just want to say that right now, unless they hire an Urban Meyer or a Jim Harbaugh. Honestly, unless they hire one of those guys, I don't think Kojo Antwi ends up going to South Carolina. To the Gamecocks. I like Auburn, Georgia, and Notre Dame here is probably the top three, maybe Florida State. Mike Singer was at a Tom Lenning photo shoot, who's a Rivals guy in Georgia, with a bunch of these top Georgia uncommitted and committed kids. Jack Nickel, current Notre Dame commit, is there. He said Kojo seemed like a Notre Dame type fit kid, and he thought Notre Dame had a good shot in his recruitment. Definitely something good to know. Tight ends, Jack Nickel, like I just said, verbal to Notre Dame. I like him sticking with that. His dad went to Stanford, though. I think Stanford still might be talking to him. But he said only good things about Notre Dame, and I like him staying at Notre Dame. Elijah Brown, 6'5", 230-pound tight end from the Huber Heights area in Ohio, goes to Wayne High School. Wayne High School currently has 2 players with offers from Notre Dame. I like at least one of them coming, but I like Elijah Brown a lot more. The fan future casts are in for him landing in Notre Dame. Ohio State, West Virginia are the other 2 challengers here for Elijah Brown's commitment. O-line part 1. The O-line is a lot, guys. Taking all this information. Zach Rice. Talented kid. Number 11 player in the country. The highest rated player that I put in this list. UNC, UVA, Ohio State, and Notre Dame are probably his top 4. I said that in a Rivals thread. Mike Singer agreed with me. I think right now it's probably UVA and UNC as his top 2. I'm pretty sure his grandma was a professor at UVA. He lives about an hour from Charlottesville, Virginia. I think this recruitment could really go any way of those 4 schools. It's going to come down to visits and whatnot. He has not visited Notre Dame yet, but he was at the UNC Notre Dame game exactly a week ago from when I'm recording this, and loved what the Irish were doing, even with 2 backup starters, and Blake Fisher made sure to tell him. Will Campbell, 78 player in the country. I think he's rated 52nd on 247. All the future casts are in for LSU, but I think Notre Dame is in second here, even after offering him earlier this week. He's from Monroe, Louisiana, so pretty close to Baton Rouge, probably 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive. I'm pretty sure he's visited. At least he's been there at some point in his life. I doubt he's been to Notre Dame, but his parents were psyched up about this Notre Dame offer and the Notre Dame athletics piece of it. Will Campbell is reportedly an avid fisher, hunter. Seems like him and Rocco Spindler would get along. Caleb Johnson, too, very well. So interesting recruitment to watch. Doubt Notre Dame lands him, though. I think he's going to the Bayou Tigers. Joe Bruner, 5'9", Rivals rating, 47th overall. Best player in the state of Wisconsin. Really talented kid. It's looking like he's going to end up at Wisconsin, but Notre Dame is the second here. Notre Dame is probably in second in a lot of these recruitments, but we will have to see. Jacob Allen, 84th ranked player, 5.9 on Rivals, from Princeton, New Jersey, the Hun School. Very elite Catholic school. I think it's a Michigan State, Duke, Notre Dame battle. I think academics will play a huge part in this, something Michigan State cannot relate to. Well, Michigan State is a good academic school, but academically, Notre Dame and Duke are on another level. I like Notre Dame in this recruitment. We'll have to see, though. I think Duke and Michigan State could both make some pushes, and we'll have to see. It honestly depends on how good Duke and Michigan State play next year. If they are top 15 teams, maybe he sides with them. Likes early playing time because I don't know if he'll get it at Notre Dame. Billy Scrouth, second-ranked offensive guard in the country. Could play center, O-tackle, O-guard. I like him at O-guard, though. Mostly right guard. Very, very talented. Very talented. His recruitment has been a Wisconsin, Notre Dame battle thick and through. Ohio State and Michigan are also in his top 4, which he released about a month ago. I don't think he ends up going to either of those schools. I think it's Notre Dame and Wisconsin. He's visited Wisconsin, Notre Dame both before. Has not visited Michigan, Ohio State. He would like to, though. Rumors were he might have committed about 2 months ago, or might have silently committed. I'm not sure. A silent commitment is rare, especially in these 2022 guys, and I doubt that happened, but we will have to see. Jake Taylor, 5'8" rating. All the picks are in for Notre Dame pretty much. Mike Singer put a projection pick in about 20 hours ago for Jake Taylor to land in the Bend. It's pretty much an Oklahoma Notre Dame battle. He will be in Oklahoma this weekend for his birthday. He's very active on Twitter. He's a very good kid, too. His Twitter is actually pretty cool. Ty Chan, offensive tackle from the Lawrence Academy in Groton, Massachusetts. Talented Polynesian kid, 6'6", 270. I like him going to Notre Dame, too. Mike Singer said this was kind of a projection pick, too. I don't think he's visited. He might visit over the winter if he gets some time, but we will have to see. A lot of these kids will not be committing until next fall, late next fall. 2022 will be a while. I will update this list as well with new Notre Dame offers and stuff like that. Grant Bingham, 5.8 rivals rating. Notre Dame is looking very solid here if they keep pushing. Now, I don't know if they will. They might kind of lay off on him. They might like other guys more. Spots might fill up. Sorry, Grant Bingham. Talented kid, nevertheless. Wilfredo Abar, weak side D end from Cheshire Academy in Connecticut. Top 100 rivals player. Very talented outside linebacker, as well as a defensive end. I don't know. This recruitment's pretty wide open. It really is. He could go either way. I don't have a projector right now. Notre Dame does lead the fan future cast picks, though. Tyson Ford, I do have my picking for Notre Dame. I actually kind of like him to Notre Dame. This might be one of Notre Dame's highest ranked guys. I could definitely see him moving up to an even higher ranking, top 50 by the time he signs. He goes to the John Burroughs School in St. Louis, Missouri. Very good school. Not sure if he has any powerful SEC offers. I know he's the Missouri offer, but I wouldn't really call that an SEC power. We'll have to see. Interesting recruitment to watch. Alex Bauman, brother of... Come on now. I'm forgetting this. Brother of Kevin Bauman, freshman tight end on Notre Dame. Liking to Notre Dame, everyone else is too. Mike Singer's picking there for him. Go Irish in this recruitment. He even has the Shamrock in his bio. Isaac Ham, strong side D end from Wisconsin. I like him going to Wisconsin. He said they've been recruiting him the most. Left Iowa out of his list. It's currently Penn State, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Ohio State. He said Penn State was kind of just in there because of the name, which is kind of funny. He said that to an extent. He didn't blatantly say that, guys. And then Ohio State is not offered. But they're definitely looking at him and talking to him. But this is definitely a Wisconsin-Notre Dame battle. I think lining up in Wisconsin, those spots would fill up. And I think Notre Dame just would rather have Tyson Ford or Wilfredo Abar there. Okay. Sorry, I don't usually put 247 in here, but I did because Donovan Hines did not have a profile picture in Rivals. But Caleb Artis, we're going to start out with in Queens, New York. He is from the city of New York, which makes playing football interesting. He is the Fordham offer too. Has a bunch of East Coast offers. Does have an Indiana and Nebraska offer. This recruitment's wide open. It's probably going to be a late one. No really info there to share. Donovan Hines, pretty much a Notre Dame lock. Older brother Kurt, stud defensive tackle at Notre Dame. Him and Alex Bauman could be the two low Notre Dame commitments this winter. Big fan of Donovan Hines. Caden Curry. Actually, let's talk about Keith Miles, who I think is a Notre Dame commitment and has a very close bond with Mike Elston. Keith Miles and Mike Elston will probably become one of the closest D linemen to coaching, but we'll have one that you will ever see. Talented kid from New Jersey, plays for a really good team in St. Peter's Prep. New Jersey has a lot of good Catholic teams. Surprised there's no future cast picking for him to land in Notre Dame. I think he would. I think there's some on 247 by Mr. Tom Loy, but I think this is a Notre Dame versus whoever else enters late. Not sure if he's been in Notre Dame yet. Might take a trip over winter break or something once the season ends, as New Jersey is playing ball, which is kind of a shock. But we will see. Caden Curry. This kid is not an Ohio State lock, but kind of is. Notre Dame offered way too late, in my opinion. He's from Indianapolis. Pretty much, Notre Dame just offered too late. That's all what it is. Mike Olson was talking to him for a while. Maybe it was the grades or something like that. Kid's a stud, 6'4", 250. Loves talking about the Boses. And Columbus, Ohio is not too far from Indianapolis. I think Ohio State will end up with him as Notre Dame comes in second. Clemson did offer, though, recently, which will make things interesting. The linebackers are a group I love. They might be my favorite position group that Notre Dame is recruiting. Langston Patterson. Brother plays for Clemson, and he was at the Notre Dame-Clemson game that we all wish we were at. Since Notre Dame allows both teams' families to be there. Loved his experience in South Bend. Was a very interesting one. But that could play a huge role. If Clemson doesn't offer, I think he's going to end up in the Bend. Talented kid. He's from Christ Presbyterian Academy, CPA. They play very good ball. They actually won the state championship yesterday afternoon, I think maybe 24 hours ago. So this kid's on a high. His recruiting will pick up. Doubt he makes any commitment, though, as he's probably waiting for that Clemson offer. Or if it never comes, then I guess he's Irish or maybe Tennessee. I don't know. We'll see. Recruiting is the incorrect sign. Stavon Jackson, 228th player in the country. He's from Omaha, Nebraska. It's pretty much a Nebraska versus Midwest whoever. I think Nebraska's going to end up with him. Nick Lazinski, pretty much Notre Dame's linebacker recruiting guy, is, of course, Clark Lee's coaching and is one of the best coaches, sticking to that. Lazinski talks to Davon Jackson often. Davon Jackson is like Notre Dame, but he needs to take the visit, something he can't do, which is definitely a bummer. Sebastian Cheeks, 5'9", Rivals rating, 96th player in the country. He's looking Irish. He really is. Goes to Evanston Township High School, a very good academic school. He's visiting Notre Dame. I think tomorrow he gets into South Bend, maybe tonight. He'll spend the weekend there. Might see Sierra, which will be cool. Sebastian Cheeks, very talented player, 96th player in the country. Did not get to play high school ball. He's in the state of Illinois too. An injury only let him play, I think, 4 or 5 games of his sophomore year, so not a whole lot of tape. But to be ranked top 100 with not a whole lot of tape is huge. And he could really be a 5-star by the end of his high school playing days. Teva Tafidi. I think this kid's Notre Dame. On 247 Rivals, they're all Notre Dame picks. Reportedly, him and his dad were screaming, yelling, up and down, jumping. When Notre Dame beat Clemson, he was tuned in for that game. Loved every second of it. I think he continues the Hawaiian pipeline, and I think he might be Notre Dame's 2022 Hawaiian commit. Brian Polian is, as you would expect, all over this recruitment. Mr. Hawaii Whisperer. DBs, this is our last slide. We're about 23 minutes through. Nikkei Martinez, he's from Apoka, Florida, right outside Orlando. So it's pretty much an SEC school in Clemson and Notre Dame. Florida State, ACC school. Florida State, Clemson, Florida, Auburn, and Notre Dame are the top schools here. Cincinnati's also reportedly making a push. Not really sure why, but you never know. Zion Branch, very, very talented kid. It's looking like Oklahoma, but I think Notre Dame's in second right now. Clemson's definitely making a push. Alabama. He's from Bishop Gorman High School. He's coached by former Notre Dame player Nicholas Ferretti. I believe his first name is Nicholas. He coaches the linebackers and safeties, I'm pretty sure. And Zion Branch is a safety. The Bishop Gorman kids definitely hear about Notre Dame more than they usually would because of that, which is huge, especially Jake Taylor, offensive tackle. Notre Dame has also offered a few other 2022 kids from Bishop Gorman, including a DB that's name I currently don't remember. Xavier Nwankpa definitely should be ranked higher, will be ranked higher in the next rankings, I think. Had a massive season in Iowa. Ohio State, Iowa, Notre Dame are the top 3 here, the consensus top 3. I think if you were to make a top 3, you'd stick to it and it'd be Ohio State, Iowa, Notre Dame. Lives in the middle of Iowa, so Iowa's definitely the hometown team. Has a bunch of Iowa stuff in his house. I have him on TikTok. His TikTok's pretty funny. Just Xavier NW, I think, or something like that. I think Notre Dame will get this recruitment. I have my pick in for him. For some reason, it doesn't want to show that. But yeah, I like Xavier Wonk, but to Notre Dame. Jake Pope. It's pretty much a Notre Dame UNC battle at this point. If Clemson offers, Clemson probably shoots to 1 because his dad did play high school ball for the University of Clemson, or for Clemson University back in the 80s or maybe 90s. Very talented kid. Very talented kid. Notre Dame, UNC, and Clemson battle if Clemson offers. Clemson is talking to him. It's not like they've shunned him. Talented kid from Buford, Georgia, and Buford High School. Well, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode. It will be a podcast. Peace.